can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., currently serves as the Secretary of Health and Human Services in the second administration of Donald Trump. Now, he's a controversial figure, of course. What made him so controversial was his statement about Black children needing to be reparented. I mean, the statement didn't go off well. And when he was brought before Congress to answer to such a statement, he lied and said he denied saying that. You know, that's cowardly. There's no other way to put that or phrase it. That is cowardly. Anyway, as far as he goes, his current role and status, his confirmation, he was confirmed by the U.S. Senate with the 52-48 vote on February 13, 2025. His responsibilities as HHS Secretary, Kennedy oversees a budget of approximately $2 trillion, all right? And agencies who are part of the HHS include the CDC, the FDA, the NIH, and the CMS, okay? That involves or concerns Medicare and Medicaid, all right? So far, though, his initiatives or his key initiatives, he leads the Make America Healthy Again, the MAHA agenda, focusing on chronic disease, food safety, and reviewing vaccine research. Additional titles attached to him. He also serves as the co-chair of President Trump's Great American Recovery Initiative. All right. Now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the 26th U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services. In his cabinet level role, he is tasked with reforming national health agencies and addressing chronic disease epidemics. Recent activity, May 2026 national tour. In May 2026, Secretary Kennedy conducted the Take Back Your Health tour in Ohio to promote a prevention first strategy. Congressional testimony involving him. He testified before the House Education and Workforce Committee in April 2026 regarding rural health care and school nutrition. Policy shifts, he have them. Kennedy is currently overseeing inquiries into vaccine safety and the removal of certain additives from the national food supply. Now there that is a little context, okay, about RFK Jr. But I have a clip. I want to drop this clip and you guys be the judge of this. Let me know in terms of your thoughts of this piece, what we're going to, bring to you guys. Put those thoughts in the comments, okay? Whether you agree with his opinion or not, put them in the context, in the comments. Let us read what you have to say as a result of what he is about, what he's been pushing, and whether or not the job he's doing is one that needs recognition or does he need removing. All right. Now, again, there are controversies concerning him, controversies and statements that regard Black children or Black citizens. OK, that reparenting remark, Black children being ADHD, on ADHD medication was the thing that really, brought a lot of focus and attention to this guy. All right. And I think rightfully so. But before we get into this, please like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe to TAP, the Art of Political Discourse. You guys' participation and viewership, like we say here, and we mean it, it means a great deal to us. OK, so thank you for that support. Let's get to this clip. That Trump administration is something else, to say the least. All right. And this is courtesy of MS Now. OK, so let's hear what this is all about.
Donald Trump's Health and Human Services Secretary, who was convicted of the felony of heroin possession during the 14 years that he admits to having been a heroin addict.
Did you hear that?
Is the first cabinet secretary in history, indeed the only.
Wait a minute. I can't let that one ride. A heroin addict for a long period of time. Okay, a heroin addict for a long period of time is now the secretary or the director of the HHS, Health and Human Services. All right, make that make sense. Make that make sense. You got to wonder how many other addicts do they have in that administration. We know Pete Hegseth and the director of the FBI are both alcoholics. But how many druggies do you have in that administration? And then in a position such as that, that's frightening. No way. That should not. How did he get confirmed? Why would 52 people confirm him to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services? That should make anybody wonder.
Administration official in the administration of any president in history who wants to rip every black child in America out of the arms of that child's mother and that child's father. Every single black child.
Now, again, please put your thoughts in the comments about this, and this is not made up. You can't make this up. All right. Now, I had a thought just now. What he just said in terms of what RFK Jr. had proposed, it brought to mind this one individual. She was a counsel. She was on or worked within the administration of the Israeli administration. I don't know if she worked for Netanyahu personally. A consular general. Her name was Judith Venari Shores. I think Judith Shores. She made a statement that shocked a lot of us also. And her statement, and a lot of you may not find a connection here, but to us, it makes sense. She made a statement, or she said that the number one threat to Israel, it wasn't Hamas, it wasn't Hezbollah, it wasn't Iran, it wasn't even Arabs, it wasn't Palestinians, it was black children, the black youth of America. All right. Now, for a lot of us, that sent chills down our spines because we begin to think then, okay, wait a minute, what are you saying? And not only what are you saying, what do you have in store for our children? What devious, plan do you have for our children? And just the fact that RFK Jr. would say something like it, the connection to me just seems so natural. It seems so logical. It seemed logical, and a lot of you might look at it like, well, they're talking about medications that black children are receiving or getting, Yeah, but they're talking about taking them to parent farms, to these facilities where they re-indoctrinate them, where they recondition them. And to what end, if that's the case? Whether they reconditioning them to, whether they re-indoctrinating them with, that just, to me, there's a connection there, I think. All right. Now, let me move on because this thing is what we use the phrase now, rabbit holes. That's a rabbit hole.
Robert Kennedy Jr. believes that every black child in America has bad parents and that every black child in America needs to be reparented. That is his personal Nazi word for it, reparented.
Wow.
He did not say that some black children need to be reparented by him. He did not say that thousands of black children need to be reparented.
He said all. And in fact, there's something else he said. He goes even further. Blacks, period. Not reparented, but something need to be done in terms of the way we think or something to that effect. You know, this is a threat to black people, to black citizens, period. Period. You know? He said during this 2024 appearance on 19 Keys podcast, RFK Jr. did, he asserted that every black kid is now just standardly put on Adderall, SSRIs, and benzos, which are known to induce violence. All right. He suggested these children should be taken from their homes and sent to wellness farms to get reparented. When grilled by lawmakers in a congressional hearing, he denied knowing what the phrase meant and doubted he said it, despite the available recordings, the footage, you know, the receipts, you know. Listen, there's something going on, right? And I think that the harder we look at these individuals and their policies, what they're saying out loud, the more we realize what the jig is. You know, we'll figure out what the jig is. There was also this thing, there was a highlight in this 2021 video. It was produced by Kennedy's Children's Health Defense Organization titled Medical Racism, the New Apartheid. All right. The film advanced pseudoscientific claims that black people possess genetically different, stronger immune systems that become overstimulated by vaccines, suggesting they should follow a different inoculation schedule. Lawmakers, they condemn these arguments as dangerous racial tropes that heighten medical mistrust. All right. There was another thing, the biologically targeted COVID-19 claims, right? In 2023, RFK Jr. claimed that COVID-19 was a bioengineered weapon ethically targeted to spare Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people while disproportionately attacking Caucasian and white and black populations. Public health experts and civil rights groups widely denounced these claims or that claim as scientifically baseless and deeply offensive. This guy has a problem. And it may be Nazism or, you know, just that white supremacist attitude, you know, a bigot mindset. But this is a dangerous individual. Dangerous in like Trump dangerous. You know, Pete Hegseth dangerous. Marco Rubio dangerous, you know. Let's get back to this clip.
He said, quote, every black kid needs to be reparented.
Wow.
By the federal government and institutions run by him. Yes, it's insane. Yes, he is obviously insane.
How would he go about doing that? Would the Gestapo or the fascists come, would ICE come to every black household, forcefully go inside, forcefully kidnap, remove that child and send them to these wellness farms? How did he propose, I wonder, to do that? You know, and again, the danger here is the fact that that's out in the open. He said this. Who else feels like that? Is that something that they thought about? Do those think tanks sit down and talk about these types of things? We think that they do. We are living in dangerous times.
Yes, it's the single most racist thing said in the 21st century in America and possibly ever in America. And I, for one, along with most people, did not know that he said that 2 years ago when he was a presidential candidate until Congresswoman Terry Sewell confronted him today in a House Ways and Means Committee hearing.
Wow.
In a 2024 podcast interview, you suggested that Black children on ADHD medication should be reparented. You said every Black kid is now just standardly put on Adderall, SSRI, benzos, which are known to induce violence, and that those children are going to have to go somewhere to get reparented. There is a lot to unpack in that comment. I know that you've already answered several of the questions I was going to ask, and so I'm just going to rephrase them. Mr. Secretary, you've already admitted that you are not board certified physician, and you've already admitted that you did not go to medical school. Have you ever reparented, or parented, I should say, a Black child?
I don't even know what that phrase means, and I doubt that
a yes or no answer.
I doubt that I said that
it.
phrase.
You
No,
absolutely
I'm not
said
going to answer something that I didn't say.
You absolutely said it.
And here is that deeply perverted, racist madman absolutely saying it.
Every Black kid is now just standard put on Adderall, SSRIs, benzos, which are known to induce violence. And those kids are going to have a chance to go somewhere and get reparented.
Donald Trump gave that sick racist a job after he said that. And every Republican senator voted for the confirmation of that poisonous.
52 to 48. All right. Most of the Republicans. All right. Now, I like the line of questioning Ms. Sewell, Senator Sewell asked him about his medical knowledge, you know, or degrees. Do he possess any? Does he possess any? He doesn't. He doesn't at all. But he's saying these things, okay? There's another issue that concerns him, something else that he said, you know, that he wants to, no, something he's done, actually. Let me get to that. Maternal health and program cancellations. All right, under his watch, the administration's budget proposed eliminating Healthy Start, a critical federal community-based program designed to lower Black maternal mortality rates. Furthermore, lawmakers raised alarm over guidelines removing phrases like Black maternal health from federal funding applications, which critics argue cripples targeted medical interventions. All right, that's what he did. That's what he did. Also, severe budget cuts and congressional testimonies regarding the 2027 federal budget. Kennedy defended a 12.5% cut to the total HHS budget. All right. This massive slashes to critical equity programs include $923 million less for HIV/AIDS programs and $561 million cut from maternal and child health programs. This is the guy, y'all. This is the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Racist. Joining us now is Michael Steele, co-host of The Weeknight
Incredible.
here on MS Now. Michael, when I came across this today, I immediately hoped you could join us tonight, and I just want to hand the microphone to you.
Well, Lawrence, thank you. You know, man, just when you think you've kind of rounded all the bases, and
just when you think you've heard it all,
and okay, we're clear. There can't be anything more stupid or more racist or more insane.
No, this is not stupid. This is serious. This is serious. And this guy is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He's a member of the Trump administration. Look at Trump and what he's doing. Look at Marco Rubio and what he's doing. Look at Pete Hegseth and what he's doing. All this points to one thing. White supremacy, that's it. Bigoted racial behavior, policies, programs, and actions at work. This is what this is. There's nothing stupid about it. This is dangerous.
Enter RFK Jr. Thank you, first off, for setting this conversation up the way you did, because you systematically went through the facts. You systematically laid out what the man said. in his own words. Couple of things. First off, there is no evidence that Black children are universally or even disproportionately medicated the way he just described. Quite the opposite, Lawrence. What the problem is in the Black community for a lot of parents who are dealing with children who have mental health issues, is actually getting the medication that they need, actually having access to the healthcare system that this fool now runs. And so the reality of coming on and saying this, whether as a presidential candidate or sitting there and not even realizing 2 years later that not only did you say it, but this is an attitude that you openly expressed, speaks again to just how unfit you are for the job. The second thing that I think to keep in mind is the type of medication he's talking about. Again, it's not used for the kind of thing that behavior he described. In fact, Adderall is something that reduces impulsivity. It's something that is put in place to help lower the rates of risky or aggressive behavior, right? So where did that come from? Oh, maybe the stereotyping of young black kids
And violent.
as being overly aggressive. I have two Black children, sons especially. I can't tell you the number of times we had to deal with issues around their behavior if they got too aggressive, particularly when they were younger. You know, and so the reality of it is, if that's the go-to, Lawrence, that when a child acts out as a lot of children do, and you know, sometimes gets a little bit rough and tough in the tumble of the playground, you're going to then go, oh well, that, you know, they're aggressive, they're behaving a certain way. That again feeds the stereotype that goes back so many generations in Black communities. And I think the last one of the last points is, you know, the adultification of kids, of young Black boys especially, ties into this reparenting BS. Who gonna raise my child? That fool? I thought the congresswoman asked the right question. Have you ever parented, let alone reparented, a Black kid?
Okay.
Have you ever had to deal with not just the economic, the political, the education, but the social stigmas that child has to grow up with just by being Black? Look, I'm not on your show tonight making excuses for crap. I'm not out here trying to explain away everything.
Okay, but yeah, again, yeah, you're going to take these children from their parents and do what with them? You know? And like I said, there's something else at play here. His statement is just, there's something insidious about it. There's something else going on. There's a whole lot beneath that we haven't gotten to, that we probably won't get to, and that very well may already be some sort of process in effect. We don't know. But there that is. Give me your thoughts on this, okay? Drop them in the comments, whether you agree with RFK Jr. or not, all right? In terms of the content, whether you agree with this stigma or this stereotype that young Black children are more prone to violence or a little more aggressive than others, you know, than their peers, you know, in other demographics. Let us know what you think. We look forward to reading your comments. Until next time, take care of yourselves and one another.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter,